Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video you're going to see 4 more character reveals for Moonstone. If you listened to the recent TTSG podcast with Susie Johnston, you may have heard of a special character coming to the game as part of the new Kickstarter that's going to be released very soon, and that page is live at the moment, and I certainly recommend heading over there, hitting the notify me on launch button, and then that'll keep you up to date, so as soon as it goes live you can see exactly what's coming. But you're going to get another sneak peek today, because here we're going to see another character, and this one is called Nanny. Here she is then, really awesome looking character, another fun miniature to add to the Moonstone collection. Really looking forward to this Kickstarter. There's so much to look forward to, and if you've been following along with all the other YouTube channels that have been revealing different characters over the past week, then I hope you've had as much fun as I have seeing it all. It's been really cool. And I'm really happy to be able to reveal Nanny to you today, and also we're going to see 3 new Psychopomps as we work through the video. Nanny fits into the whole narrative of the game as the young Prince Churnit was raised in part by this cheerful Nanny who treated him as her favourite among the 3 brothers. He kept her close throughout his life and in undeath is desperate to have her by his side again. You can also see the Psychopomps, as I mentioned, and they serve the needs of the dead in the Deadlands. And so we're going to see Urchin, Pookie and Sprog later, and they've identified that what Nanny needs most is something to care for, and they have dutifully obliged. If you're wondering whether Nanny comes with a card, yes, here it is. So we're going to have a good look at that now. We'll work our way through this card in detail, have a look at her abilities, and then we'll start looking at the new Psychopomps too. Let's bring up the card, and you can see that Nanny is called Nanny and she's got the keyword Risen, and then for her characteristics she has a melee 3, range of 1 inch, her arcane is 4 and she's got an evade stat of +1. Let's check out those passive abilities. The first one is called Summon the Nursery. When this character activates, you may place a new friendly Babeling Psychopomp in base contact with this character. Now that's going to work nicely with You Protect Me Like the Babe, which reduces all damage this character would suffer by -1 for each friendly Babeling Psychopomp within 6 inches. So if you can get her to round 3 and they don't get taken out, then she can activate 3 times, and then you could potentially have all 3 of these Psychopomps next to her. But not just any Psychopomp, they've got to have that Babeling keyword too. Let's have a look at her first arcane ability. This is called Milk Time, and this is going to cost her 2 energy with a 6-inch range. And we're looking for a blue here, a blue card, and the target friendly restores X number of wounds, and the catastrophe says that this model suffers 2 wounds. This makes sense for this character completely, as you would expect from Nanny. She's going to take on a nurturing role, and so that fits in really well, that she's going to start healing and restoring some wounds. She can also do something pretty cool with Lullaby. This is 1 energy, and this is a 6-inch range again, but can only do this once per turn, and we're looking for a blue 2 or a pink 2 now. And here it tells us the target model must discard half its energy, rounding up, then it restores 2 wounds. So you can use this on friendlies and enemies. Milk Time is just on friendlies, but this one you can use on both. So some interesting mechanics there. You're going to be reducing energy and restoring wounds, but I guess if you pick an enemy model that's got all their wounds, they're not going to restore any, are they? They're just going to be having their energy reduced. And even if they have lost some wounds and you have to restore them, maybe that payoff is going to be worth it in certain situations just to get rid of some of their energy. Nanny's got a signature move on a falling swing. We'll look at that in a moment. And then for her wounds, she's going to have altogether 9 of them. And she can take 3 wounds before she starts getting close to losing any energy. So she's pretty robust, and then she'll lose her further energy right down the bottom when she loses her final 3 wounds. And the final thing to note here on the front is that her base is 40 mil. But let's flip it over and have a look what that upgrade for Falling Swing does. And this is called Nap Time. And the damage type here is going to be Impact. You can see if the opponent plays a High Guard, she's not going to deal any damage at all. But any other card, it's going to be 2 damage. And the end step effect tells us that if the enemy suffered 1 or more wounds during this round of melee, they lose 1 energy. That's going to be great if they haven't activated yet, and even if they've kept some energy back to make reaction moves with, Nanny can sort them out, so maybe go after some that haven't activated with Nanny first. But if they play that High Guard, she's not going to get any wounds on them or get to play this end step effect. There you go, that's Nanny. We've had a look at her card now. We're going to look at the Psychopomps next. And if you're wondering where the inspiration came for Nanny and you haven't heard the podcast yet with Susie, definitely recommend checking that out if you haven't already. It's on YouTube and Spotify. I'll put a link down below. But Nanny here was inspired by Count Duckula. And if you remember that cartoon, it was so cool. That was one of my favourites when I was younger. I loved it. So funny, and it's brilliant that that is the inspiration here, or part of the inspiration at least, behind this great character. Are you ready for another reveal? Let's do this. Here we go then. The next character that we're going to get to see here is Sprog. And this is the Babelings Psychopomp that's going to be coming in the same set with Nanny. This might well be one of the cutest Psychopomps from the whole collection. There's lots to like here. We've got a fishy frog face, a hairy body, and some kind of antenna there under a hood. It's completely random. So cool looking. I love it. I think it's brilliant. And I think you can certainly imagine this one following Nanny around for sure. We've got a card to look at for Sprog now, so let's do that. And we'll bring the front of the card up first. So here you can see we've got Sprog, and Sprog has got two keywords, Psychopomp and Babling. Sprog's characteristics are melee 1, range 1 inch, arcane 0, and evade -1. Let's have a look at the passive abilities then, starting with Psychopomp, and this is going to be very similar to the one we saw in the previous reveal video. It tells us that this character can only enter play when summoned. It does not activate and can never gain energy. Instead, while the character who summoned this character is active, this character can take actions, including jog, by discarding the required energy on the friendly character who summoned this character. Reaction steps and go for it's can be taken in the same way. So if you want this to actually do anything specific on the battlefield, you're going to need to use Nanny's energy for it. Next, we've got Summoner's Delight, and it says if the character that summoned the model is slain or removed from play, then this character is immediately considered to be slain. So they're linked together once they're summoned. They've also got Feeble, and that means that they reduce all melee damage this character deals by -2, and harvest actions cost this model +1 energy. Next, they've got Kinship, and this got the keyword Nanny there, and it says if the friendly named character is within 6 inches during the replenish step, this character gains protection. The first time this character would suffer damage each turn, you reduce it so they don't take any damage at all, and that's in effect until the end of turn. Let's have a look at the arcane ability now, and this is what really plays into the personality of Sprog, and this is called He Called Me Names, and this costs 1 energy with a 2-inch range, and the target character suffers -1 arcane stat or -1 melee stat until end of turn. And then at the bottom you can see that there's only 2 wounds here for poor old Sprog. He's not going to do very well in a fight, but luckily he does have that kinship, so he's going to last a little bit. But if people start picking on him, he's going to really feel it with just those 2 wounds. And then the base is 30 mil, so a little bit smaller than Nanny's base. And note that there's no signature move, so if we flip the card, there's going to be nothing there. These are still like work in progress. They may change before they actually get released, but at the moment, this is how it all looks. Are you ready for one more? Let's do it. Here comes Pookie. This is going to be the second Psychopomp. And this is also a Babling as well. Again, super cute, crazy face, big nappy, massive ears. It's going to be so funny seeing all these running around the Nanny character, getting in the way of the enemy and just causing a load of trouble. I can't wait. Here are both sides of Pookie's card. Let's go for the front first again. And here you can see Pookie has got the Psychopomp and Babling keywords. And then for characteristics, we're looking at 1 melee, 1 inch range, 0 arcane and -1 evade. For the most part, or actually all the passive abilities are going to be the same here. The Psychopomp, Summoner's Delight, then we've also got Feeble, and then finally the passive ability of Kinship with the Nanny keyword. That's going to be the same as Sprog, who we just saw. But we do have a special ability here. It's called He Pushed Me. It's going to cost 1 energy, 2-inch range, and you're going to move the target other character 1 inch directly away. So you can see how this is developing. All these little Psychopomp Babelings are all going to be complaining about something or other. They're all winding each other up. It's all kicking off, and Nanny's got to try and keep them in line. But because of that, she's got all their special abilities that she can employ. So it really is a case of getting these Psychopomps up when she's activated, choosing which ones you put with her, which one you summon, I guess depending on the situation and the round you're in and how things are going. But it's a really interesting mechanic, and they did say at the Moonstone team that this is very similar to how Boris the Bunny Summoner works. So if you're familiar with him, then you could have a good idea about what to expect here. Okay, we've got 2 wounds, just as we saw with Sprog, and again, Pookie's going to be on a 30mm base with no signature move, so when we flip the card, there's going to be nothing there as it stands now. We're still not finished. We got the weirdest of the bunch. This one is called Urchin. I definitely think this is the oddest character out of all of them. Creepy, it's weird, it's awesome. He's got a rattle, a bib, a bonnet, an old man's face and a dummy. What do you want? I love things like this when people come up with designs that are just so out there, so wacky, and these Psychopomps are all so different, but it all works together, and then you can just imagine them with Nanny in the middle of all 3 of them. It's just going to be chaos. I love it. So good. Alright, we've got the card to go through again, so let's get the front up first, and this is going to be Urchin, and you can see with Urchin, again, it's going to come with Psychopomp and Babeling keywords, and then for the characteristics, 1 melee, 1 inch range, Arcane 0, Evade -1. And as we work through the abilities, you'll see that just like the other 2, all these are going to be the same. Psychopomp, Summoner's Delight, we've also got Feeble there, and Kinship with that Nanny keyword. But Urchin does get his own special ability. Already we've been called names, we've been pushed, but now he hit me. And here, this is a 1 energy to use with a 2 inch range, and the target character suffers 1 wound. This is going to give another option to Nanny now. She can deal a little wound if she wants to. With the help of her Psychopomp Urchin, she can push them away, or she can reduce melee or arcane stats. So there's quite a few things there that she can do in conjunction with her own abilities too. So a lot going on with these models. Urchin's going to come with the 2 wounds that you would expect, and also on a 30mm base, and no signature move. So there we go. That's where it stands at the moment, but that's all of the characters revealed now for Nanny and her Psychopomps, and I just think these are fantastic. I love doing reveals like this. I can't wait to get them unboxed and painted when it's actually time for the Kickstarter to deliver. Really looking forward to that, and definitely recommend checking out that Grey Mare video that I've got up on the channel already, and also have a look at the other videos that other YouTubers have been putting out all week. Check out On Tabletop, who've revealed a teaser of Negroli, a Shade Soldier. Andy from Blackjack Legacy introduced us to Abra Cadaverous and Lampy Darkson. Loving these names, really cool. Then we've got Heroic Scale Gamers, who revealed a Grim Gravedigger. On Tabletop, published an article on beastsofwar.com looking at the brave Sir Pidge. Definitely check out T&G Productions, who've done a really cool interview with Tom, the creator behind Moonstone, and they've done a reveal as well. And don't forget, Always Bored, Never Boring, who showed us Morag. If you're looking forward to getting hold of these models, they're going to feature in the Kickstarter that's coming in October 2023 by Goblin King Games, and then you'll see everything that's going to be available. It's so fun. I can't wait for it to go live. But for now, at least you can go to the website at Kickstarter. There's a link down below, and then you can sign up to get notified on launch. So the day it goes live, you'll be right there, and you can sign up and get all the good stuff right away. I'm loving Moonstone, and I'm covering it a lot on the channel, and if you're into Moonstone too, you might want to check out those videos. I guess you must be into Moonstone. If you've got this far in the video, then for sure. But yeah, there's loads up there for you to have a look at. Lots of painting videos. I've done a demo game as well. I've gone through all the rules and the how to play series. I'm going to do a few more where I do a deep dive on the actual mechanics of the arcane round and how to use the arcane cards and the melee cards. So all that's to come, but so much to look forward to over the next few months as I do more painting, more deep dives, and some battle reports which are going to be starting very soon. So I can't wait to show you those. That's going to be really fun to get these models from the box painted up and then on the tabletop in action, seeing what they can do. If you're around Liskeard in Cornwall, then come along to the Monster Mashup on the 30th of October 2023 between 5 and 9 PM at the Little Shop DVD and Games. Dress up for Halloween too. It's going to be awesome fun. It's completely free. It's a great opportunity to meet up, play some Halloween themed games in a chilled out environment, meet some new people and have fun. And finally, if you want to listen to something, then check out the TTSG podcast where I interviewed Susie Johnston about writing narrative for tabletop games. And Susie, if you don't know already, is behind the narrative and the world building for Moonstone. So that's a really interesting podcast. I had a great time just listening to it myself, and Susie was brilliant. So there's a link down below for that too. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had as much fun as I did making it. It's really cool to see these reveals. I can't wait for them to be brought to life on the tabletop. But if you did like the video, it'd be awesome if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.